Annyeonghaseyo. My name is Kim Wing. I'm 28 years old, originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm currently teaching English in South Korea. I also took my on-site TEFL course with International TEFL Academy in Chicago. And before that, I was working as a full-time cosmetologist 7 days a week. And also, shortly before that, I was working as a financial services representative for a large financial company in Atlanta, Georgia. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a US citizen, and as I said before, I am 28 years old. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. I have traveled in the past. I've studied abroad during my last year of college. I studied abroad in Belgium, France, and also Switzerland for a very short time. But in between any break that I had during semesters or any vacations or holidays, I took as many trips as I possibly could to various places, Puerto Rico, Mexico, a lot of the Caribbean islands. And I also returned back to Europe in the summer of 2014 to Ireland, Scotland, the UK, and the Netherlands. And it was during my trip in the summer of 2014 in Europe that I got an interest in teaching abroad because one of my friends had brought the idea up to me, and I was very lost at the time. I wasn't satisfied with my current job, and the idea of teaching abroad and being able to travel to different places and to be immersed in a different culture really interested me. So I started looking into teaching abroad, and one of the first things that I looked at was the International TEFL Academy site. I chose to go and register with International TEFL Academy on the on-site course because while I was researching different companies or even online courses to do a TEFL course, I wanted a course that would benefit me the most because I had no prior experience teaching. I loved the information on the website. It was easy for me to navigate. And I was also contacted by an admissions advisor, Ian Davis, and I spoke to him on the phone a few times, and he was very helpful to me, and he was also very patient with me because it took several months for me to decide to pull the trigger and come to Chicago and take the course. He never pushed me or wasn't impatient at all, so he was a huge factor in why I decided to do the course with International TEFL Academy. And also Chicago was just a city that I really wanted to go to visit, so it just made sense to go to Chicago and get it done, and I have no regrets. It was a great experience. The training that I received at ITA in Chicago definitely helped me in my current job today. I use a lot of what I learned and even a lot of the lesson plans that I created in the course in my classroom with my students. And it was great for me to be able to work with real-life students during the practicum part of the on-site course. It helped me get over a lot of fears and anxieties about teaching for the first time. So I think that it was a positive experience. And the best part also is that I was able to keep in touch with some of my classmates from Chicago who live in Korea or live in other parts of the world. And I wouldn't trade that networking opportunity for anything. It was just awesome to meet great people and to be able to collaborate and use ideas that we created in the course in my actual job today. So it was a very helpful course that I would recommend to anybody. I chose to teach English in South Korea just because I had no prior teaching experience, and I knew that South Korea's English program, EPIC, had a lot of prestige and had been around for a while. I wanted to go somewhere to teach that had a bit of structure. So South Korea just made sense because there wasn't a lot of startup costs moving here. There's a lot of great benefits, and the program itself is great for someone who's just starting out because there are co-teachers that teach in the classroom with you, so it did settle a lot of my nerves about teaching for the first time in a foreign country. South Korea has been great for me as a first-time teacher and also as a first-time foreigner living abroad. I did not personally choose the school that I currently work for. I actually worked very closely with a recruiter called Reach to Teach, and I kept in close contact via email and phone calls with a gentleman from the Reach to Teach recruiting agency that helped me apply for the EPIC program. So basically any paperwork that I had to submit, I submitted to the agency, and then they submitted that to the EPIC office in Korea. I remember the application process being very long and very tedious. It was probably one of the longest application process that I've ever experienced. I applied for EPIC in the end of September 2014. I landed an interview a day before my birthday, which was November 10th or so, and then I was offered a position mid-February of 2015. The school that I currently work for, as I said, I did not personally choose these schools, but I was placed in the province of Gangwon-do, South Korea, and then within the province, their office, the Provincial Office of Education, then assigned me to a middle school in Sinchuan. So I work for, my main school is a middle school, Sinchuan, and then I'm also assigned to a high school that's right next to it. And I am a guest teacher in the middle school and the high school. I work from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and usually I have about 4 classes a day and 20 hours total a week of office hours, which I use to lesson plan or just organize myself and get ready for each of my classes throughout the week. My most memorable experience living abroad is actually pretty funny, just because I think this would have not happened anywhere else but Korea. I was actually enjoying one of my weekends at a large music festival in Korea, and at the end of the night I thought that my leg was bleeding, and I was freaking out because I wasn't sure why my leg was red, and turned out it wasn't blood, but I thought it was. I thought I was bleeding, and turned out to be kimchi sauce from the food that someone must have dropped on me as they were walking from the food stalls, because in Korea, kimchi is life, and that day I happened to get some on my leg, and luckily it wasn't blood, but it's just a funny occurrence that I don't think would happen anywhere else. My advice for anyone who is considering or planning to come teach abroad is to make sure that you research where you're going and talk to people who are actually already there. A great way to do this is simply to Google maybe teaching in South Korea or any other country that you may be interested in, and several links will pop up and you just have to click through them. You can check on YouTube, watch people's vlogs and videos of their own experiences. This will give you a helpful insight of what life may be like for you once you're on foot in the country that you choose to be in. And also read blogs and articles and get in contact with people via email or Twitter, or just, there's so many different avenues now to reach people, and I've had a great amount of people reach out to me for information, and I'm never hesitant to help them just because I was once in their shoes. So do not hesitate to reach out to people and join Facebook groups, especially if you are taking the course with ITA. They have alumni pages that are great for networking or just answering random questions that you may have, and people who are already there will give you an answer or try to help you. So do everything that you can to educate yourself and inform yourself about where you might want to go. And if you don't know where you want to go, that also may help you narrow it down. So just Google, YouTube, read blogs, reach out to people, and make sure that you get different opinions and angles on what life may be like for you, so that you can make the right decision about coming to teach in a certain country. I would definitely recommend teaching in South Korea to anyone who is looking to teach here or anyone who's not sure about where to go, especially for first-time teachers. I think it's a great place to teach just because they are more organized than most other countries with the EPIC program. There are great benefits and great pay, there's paid holidays, and you have the opportunity to work and live without that many expenses, but so much to experience while you're teaching and also during your time off to travel throughout different countries. You'll be able to save money if you're smart about your spending and still be able to enjoy a very comfortable lifestyle. So South Korea is a great place for people looking to teach. I just want to be honest and say it is very competitive just because there are so many people that are teaching here already, and I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that are still looking at South Korea as a destination to start working as a teacher. But it's definitely been a great place for me. I was extremely worried about making friends in a new country, but prior to coming here, I knew that I was going to already have 2 friends because 2 people in my TEFL class in Chicago were already looking into working and living in South Korea. So before coming here, I already had 2 contacts and I kept in touch with them. But besides those 2, I had to make new friends when I got here. And I thought it was going to be extremely difficult for me, especially being placed in a very rural area. I live in a town that only has a group of 8 English teachers. However, I don't want to scare you by saying that just because I have become so close to the people that live in my town because it's such a small, tight-knit community, and I have made such meaningful friendships and relationships that I will treasure for the rest of my life. These people, they were here for me and supportive, and I was able to share great experience and travel with them and ask for advice. So making friends, you will make friends where you live, like I have, and I've also made friends at EPIC orientation, which was actually a month after I arrived, but that is another networking opportunity. And if you just put yourself out there, travel, introduce yourself when you're in a new setting, in a group, it's easy to make friends, and if you just make sure you're pleasant and open to meeting people, you'll meet friends of friends, and it's just been a great, I've made so many friends here and I will never forget them. They have been so much a part of why my life here has been great. Without them, I don't think I would have made it. So I encourage people to make sure that you are open to meeting people and don't give up. Don't be a hermit, because meeting people is all part of this great experience. I want to thank International TEFL Academy, all of my instructors, as well as my classmates during my time in Chicago. The experience I had there has been extremely useful and helpful in my current teaching position in Korea, and I'm sure that I'll be able to take the skills that I've learned anywhere in the world. And also the continued support and guidance, assistance that has been offered to me as I look into other positions around the world. I would recommend International TEFL Academy to anybody who is looking or interested in teaching abroad. I will leave their website below, and please give them a visit and tell them Kimmy sent you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this was helpful to anybody looking, and please subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.